Did y'all see that? That is Miss Joan coming up the steps of her house exactly 1 year after my total knee surgery. Many of you asked me to come back on here and make an updated video of how I'm doing. You watched my first video because we did my progression of how I recovered from my knee surgery, and today I'm here to celebrate 1 year later of it. I want to show you my scar though, can I? Look here. If you can. I've been keeping some vitamin E oil on that. Don't that 67-year-old leg look awful pretty there? You could probably hardly see that scar. It looks so good. I'm so proud of it. Hey, you'll be showing you the bend part because I remember that was very important. All right, let me see. Maybe from the side here. Look at that. I hope it's going back further than a 90. You know, they measured every inch of it when you was going to all that therapy. And man, I can ram that thing out here and I can jerk it back yonder. And I would have been hollering for dear life. But anyway, I'm so proud and so thankful. And I'm going to continue on now and show you some more things I've been practicing and been doing. Now, 1 year later, it still scares me a little bit when I go down them. But I'll show you what I'm doing. See that? It takes a little more faith, I guess, to go down than it does to go up. But here is what, well, my daughter's got me stretching myself, I guess, of what my body can do. Because, see, Preacher and I, we're going to be married 50 years this year. We're talking about taking maybe a little trip. And I guess my greatest fear is I can't keep up with him. Because over the last few years, it's been hard to keep up with him with my knee. I'll show you why. This is how I was going up the steps. Whew. Before surgery, I would take and I just hold on, okay? I mean, I would pull my weight up because it would hurt so bad. And I would just go up them like this, see? And you saw just now how I can go up and down the steps. Well, now I'm trying to stretch myself and actually just put more use to my knees and get stronger in my body overall. So I'm practicing 2 steps. Watch this. I'm throwing my surgery knee up. I'm skipping a step. I'm throwing my surgery knee up, and I'm skipping a step. Did y'all see that? I know I held on, but that was Miss Joan who couldn't do steps, skipping a step. Now, I'm not telling you to try skipping a step, but that is just me trying to, hear me getting a little winded. I'm trying to push myself a little further every day, okay? And I'm just here today to just celebrate. These are like almost 7 each steps that I've just done. And I'm just here to celebrate that I can do that. Goodness gracious, we went to the state basketball playoffs. And if you ever go into one of them, I don't know what you call them, Coliseum looking things, there's steps everywhere for you to climb. And I could do it. I just can't tell you what, you know, I could hardly watch the game for telling Preacher, like, did you see me? Did you see me do them steps? You know what I'm saying? Because I was just so thrilled. So today, I tell you what, if we want to go on inside, and I'll sit down and I'll talk to you about it because so many of you asked me so many questions, and we'll just sit down and talk about it. We've come in the house here and sit down, and I want to talk to you about how I'm doing 1 year from my surgery. And I'll remind you that my doctor told me the healing is in 3 months, you're 75% healed. I told you that in my video of the recovery. And that it takes up to a whole year to get 100% healing on your knee. I am at the 1 year mark, okay? And I also want to say that keep in mind now that individuals heal differently. We all have different experiences. And I'm trying to say we all have different body ailments, okay? And my knee may be right on target and doing great, but if I've got hip pain, then it's slowing me down a little bit in my recovery. So I don't want you to watch what I just did outside and say, well, I'm just not hardly there yet, and get discouraged. And I can understand that because yesterday I watched a video, and that man, he came like running over a hill and stopped and started talking to the camera, and he was very athletic, and it made me think, well, you know, I might not need to do a 1 year video because I just can't run like he can, or I can't, he was a very athletic person. I could tell he would have been that all of his life, okay? But I still let that little seed of doubt get in me, like, well, you know, maybe I'm not as good. I don't want you to take that seeded out from my video and think, well, I can't do what she's doing, okay? Because we're all getting better. We are, okay? So I'm going to talk to you now about some things that I can't do. And I don't like to think about what I can't do, but we'll go over a couple of them just so hopefully it's going to help somebody. I can't kneel. And well, like outside in the flowers or whatever, the pulling of the weeds, you know, you want to get down on your knees and you want to pull the weeds. Well, I can't do that. But you know, I'm not going to dwell on the fact that I can't do that. I'm going to dwell on the fact that I can get a little stool or a little chair and sit there and I can pull those weeds, okay? But with my new knee, I can't kneel. And over the years, I wanted to be able to go to the altar at our church and kneel like people do. But I realized that I can't do that. Don't mean God doesn't hear my heart, though. With these new prosthetic knees or whatever they're called, the kneeling is not so good. And I'm not just giving you my opinion. I've asked all of my friends and none of them can kneel, okay? So I'm not going to worry about it. And then my knee doesn't feel what I call normal, as in the sense of it almost feels like it belongs to somebody else, okay? But it's so strong and it's just helping me do so many things. I've got past that feeling of it feels different than my other knee that has never had replacement surgery. I don't know how to hardly explain it. I tell my family sometimes it feels like it belongs to somebody else. But you think about it, it's metal and all this stuff in there, and your other knee is bones and just feels a part of your body and fleshy and all. But anyway, I've gotten used to it because it makes me feel so strong in the things that I'm getting to do. So let's get past my fact that I can't kneel and it doesn't really feel like a normal knee. But it is a wonderful knee, okay? And let's talk about this other thing that I was going to tell you that I can't do. Because I wanted to give a full 1-year report if I could. So many people has asked me to do this. I was going to tell you this morning in my no list that I can't get down in my bathtub. That's one of my favorite things, to have like a soaking bath, okay? And some people think that's nasty because you're soaking in the dirty water or whatever, but that's all what I loved. So I tried my bath at, say, 6 months. I've been taking a shower to get down in the tub. And oh my goodness, I kind of fell down in it. And then I struggled with it. And so I thought, well, I can't do it. I can't do it. So then I waited and, about 9 months into this recovery. I tried it again. And I remember getting in it. And then I thought, oh my goodness, when I kind of got on my sore knee to bend, kneel quickly to push to get out. Whew, that was rough. So that was like at 9 months, and I thought, okay, Miss Joan, you just to settle in that you're going to have to take a shower the rest of your life. It's a wonderful blessing to be able to take a shower, okay? So today, when I was approaching this video and thinking about it, the 1-year mark, oh my goodness, how can I tell them I really can't take a bath, sit down bath in my tub without I try it again at a year? So I got the courage up, and I want y'all to know this, okay? I wished you could smell me. I had the most wonderful soaking bath today that I have had. And I thought, well, I'm going to try it and I'm going to tell them about it. I got in the tub by putting down a towel, doubling it, maybe padding it real thick, and I just kind of knelt down in it and got down in the tub, and I took the most wonderful bath. And then I thought, oh my goodness, am I going to be able to get out? And I was able to get out. I mean, it was like no problems at all. Now, I had a preacher standing by because, you know, if I needed help, I was going to need help to get out. So what I've learned is, yes, Miss Joan can take a bath at 1 year. I was talking to one of my friends this week at a church I was at, and she said, I was telling her that I couldn't take a bath, and I just sure did hate that because I loved it. She said, well, my husband's figured out how to do it. And that's when she planted the seed, and I'm glad she did, that, you know, I need to try that again. And I tried it again, and it was 100% better than it was at 9 months. Okay, so don't you give up, okay? I will say, though, my tub is a little wider. I tried to measure it, and it's like, oh, look, I have to look. It's on the inside, it was 35 inches wide, and then it my other tub that's in another room is smaller. It's 22 inches wide on the inside. So I don't know if that made a difference in me being able to get down and get out. And my little tub has a little ledge on it, about this on one side. I don't know if that helped or whatever. But I know one thing. Don't give up on the things that you really did love, because you could do it after another month passes. You see what I mean? Because we're all on a different path. Oh yeah, while I was in there, I thought, whoo, okay, I'm going to shave my legs real good. Of course, I have noticed this even in the shower or whatever. When I go to pull the razor up and I get close around my surgery knee at the top, let me just throw this leg up here. I'm shaving, and I get right in here. I can touch it now. For the longest, I couldn't touch it. It almost made me nauseated. You know, if you've been there, it takes a while for that feeling to come back. Well, when I'm shaving, I get right in here, and it feels just a little bit, a little bit numb. You know what I mean? But I have to watch, because I can see that I'm shaving good. But, oh, it's minute. It is minute. You know, see what I mean? Oh, the dead feeling that I get when I go across that top part just a little bit on shaving. And that's a year later now. We don't know what it's going to be. 15 months, okay? So, all right. We got to think positive. Now, on the yes. You already seen me do the steps and heard about me going to the ball games and stuff and doing lots of steps. I'm thankful for that. And I will say, at 4 months after the surgery, if you watched any of our videos we put on at home, Miss Joan, about the Washington, D.C. trip, I did take a rollator. If you know what that is, that's one of them pushing things, and you turn around and sit on it if you get tired. At 4 months, I took that. And this summer, when we take a trip that we're looking forward to, I'm not even planning on taking that, okay? Because my knee, see, is way past a year. It'll be 15 months by then or longer. So I'm not even planning on taking nothing like that. So keep thinking, within a year, you're going to have some big, good changes in your life. All right. The steps. I'm so thrilled about the steps. I can't stand it. And I'm thrilled about the bending. The bending is, you saw that, it's so good. And then, well, Preacher has got like a bass boat. And if you know what you do, you got to get in there, you got to step down to get in it. Well, I had, before the surgery, I couldn't get down in it, down at the dock. I couldn't get down in it. People out there watching, and me hollering, him trying to grab me, and me nearly knocking him over, trying to get in the boat. Here's what we would do, okay, before my knee surgery. I'd try to go up a ladder out there in our outbuilding where he keeps the boat, and I would climb up the ladder. Now, not climb, okay, crawl like up a ladder to get up there in the boat. And he would kind of help me, push me over there in it, okay? And he would get me seated on the seat, bless him. He's so patient. He wanted me to go on a boat ride so bad, okay? He would help me get in that boat because, you know, they dip down, them boats do. And you got to step down, and then you got to step back up, and I couldn't do it. So he would put me in the boat, short story, at home. And then he would hook the boat to the truck and drive me down to the lake. Now, we didn't go down the highway, okay? It's just right here. He would launch me when he launched the boat because I was in it. So we called it Launching Mama, okay? We just laughed about it, but it got harder and harder to where I'd say, why don't somebody else go on the boat ride? I'll just stay behind, because I knew that I wanted Preacher to help me in there. And then when we come out of the lake, little ride we take, well, I'd stay in the boat. I never got out. He'd pull it on out, and we'd come to the house, and he'd back in the building, and there he was where nobody was watching. He'd help me get out. You see how we had to do? But now I can just go down there and get in it as good as anybody else can, because my knee supports me now, okay? So that I can get in it. And so also, this may sound silly to you. Look at these boots. I can wear these boots. See, I had pretty well resolved to the flats. And I did flats. And I was going to get rid of my boots. I might have 4 or 5 pair. I was going to get rid of them. It's like, it's no use in these being in my closet because I can't wear them. Because when my knee, before the surgery, I couldn't, because I couldn't trust my knee to walk at this little slant right here. I don't know what that is. Most of them's a 1 inch. This might be 1.5 inches. But no, not the tall ones like you see girls wearing. But I tell you what, I put on my boots and I went to church last Sunday. I kept them on for something else we had to do in the afternoon, and I just wore them and wore them and wore them because I got the stability and the strength now in my knee. Anyway, I'm thankful. So see, let's don't dwell on what I can't do about the total kneeling on both knees. I'm not dwelling on that. And that it feels just a little bit different. I am celebrating what I can do, okay? And then I told you, I think on the other video, that my left knee may need attention, okay? He said, well, let's get this right knee done because it's really bad, and then we'll talk about your left knee. Well, my left knee, sometimes right now I can feel a twinge in it, so I may be looking at a meniscus to start with. I don't know. We hadn't discussed it yet with the doctor. I've already had 2 meniscus in the one I had replaced, surgeries over the years. You say, well, Miss Joan, do you dread if you have to have a meniscus surgery? Why, yeah, even though I've had 2, I kind of dread it. That's just human. Well, Miss Joan, if you have to have total knee replacement on your other one, because they told me that I'm knock-kneed. And so one knee's been fixed and it's been straightened. So I'm still knock-kneed on my other knee, you see. So I don't know what I'm facing. Oh, yeah, I kind of dread it because I'm human. But really, you know, so we got to endure some pain to get to the joy in anything that we do. Isn't that right? And I was thinking when I was talking to y'all about that verse in Hebrew, it says, let us lay aside every weight. Let us run with patience. With patience, okay? We got to wait. It's been a long year for me to get to where I could bend it, where I could do good steps, where I could step down, you know, in different things, get in that bathtub. It's been a long year waiting. But let us run with patience the race that is set before us. You see, I get my eye off the goal sometime, and I look at what somebody else's race is doing, and I think, well, I can't do like they can do. And that makes me, I could get the sadness over it. No. I got to fix my eyes on the race that's set for me and what my body can do and go with it. And that's what you got to do too. And I think I ended that last video. You got to watch that now. This is not the recovery video that I did. This is the 1 year later, okay, where I'm talking to you and with my victories. But I faced all those challenges and all those bumps in the road, the swelling, the hurt, the pain, all of that stuff that you had along the way, the nights where you can't sleep and you can't roll and, you know, all of that stuff. And that's all behind me. I want you to know I don't have any pain in this knee. I don't take any kind of medication for pain in my knee, okay? I got some other issues of spine stuff and other things that bothers me sometimes, but my knee does not bother me, okay? And that's what we're talking about today. So I just wanted to encourage you, and I wanted you to know that I have met so many nice people. I forgot. I hadn't looked in a while. Do you know how many people has viewed that other video? I don't know.
Over 80,000?
I have met so many people that has wrote me from around the world and thanked me for encouraging them. So I hope that this 1 year after video encourages you. Don't you give up wherever you're at on the journey, from either looking to your surgery or you're on the road after your surgery. Do not give up, because you're going to be glad. You're going to be as happy as I am someday, okay? And I'm glad to report to you. You know, I told you in that other one that preacher went to town and he traded in my old knee and he got a good deal, okay? Well, we may have to go to town and trade in this other knee and get another one. I don't know what the future holds, but I know who I'm trusted in, and that's the good Lord. He knows what my future is. He is all my joy. And I love doing these at home with Miss Joan videos. Most of them's been about cooking. I think we're up to 101 videos right now. But this knee recovery and this year later, it laid on my heart that I want to encourage somebody, okay? Wherever you're at, do not give up. Anytime you can message me through the YouTube comments, and we can talk it over. I can take the time to sit down to encourage you, okay? Because that's what it's all about, is trying to encourage others to not give up on this journey that is so scary. I will agree. That is so scary. I just want to thank you today for just sitting down, talking to me from at home with Miss Joan.